moms and dads, a very warm welcome to this episode of Today's Parent, another beautiful day. I'm your host, Christine Kasena. In today's episode, we are going to have a very special guest. Single parenting, especially as a single mother. We have Maggie Hope, and yes, that's her name. She's going to share her journey as a single mom. I hope you learn something from her story, and as well as the tips she's going to share with you. And the other thing I want to say, because we know that being a single parent is not easy. It's something that people get stigmatized for. But I can tell you for sure what we know, that if a child is raised in a safe and stable environment, as long as they're happy, that is what is important. But for now, let's talk to Maggie and let's hear her story. Maggie Hope.
Yes.
What a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Welcome to Today's Parent.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Today's Parent.
Yeah, thank you.
You have 1 child, 2 child, 5 children. How many?
I have one. She's a 6-year-old girl.
So you have a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
I assume she goes to school.
Yes, she does.
When she goes to school and she has a homework, even when they're small and they're doing, they're nice to doodling write-ups.
Yeah.
And they draw the picture of a family.
Yes.
There's always father,
Uh-huh.
mother, and 2 children, which is normally a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
That's the typical setting, of what a family is.
Yeah.
But now that you're in a different kind of setting, and if she ever, does a doodle like that, what do you explain to her about your family setup?
Okay, for me, I've already talked to my daughter about why we don't have the father figure in our family. And I feel like most parents and most single moms, they try to escape from this particular topic because they feel it's a bit sensitive, and maybe when they grow up, that's when they will understand it, or that's when they're going to talk about it. But for me, I decided just to tell her, Mommy and Daddy won't be together anymore, but it doesn't mean that we don't love you, and doesn't mean that you're not loved, and doesn't mean that you're anything different from any other child out there. Because, she would still go to school and say, oh, this one had their mom and dad, why is mommy only who comes alone to school? But then now you have to explain to them, it doesn't make you anything different from being single, not being single, but not having the dad around, but doesn't mean that the dad doesn't exist.
Okay.
So in this particular, so when you try to explain to the child, and you don't have to go into details what exactly happened, but just to give them the confidence that they are loved, appreciated, and their families which they don't have moms, they're also called families. So I take her through that and I tell her, there are those families which have a mom and 2 kids without a dad, and then the others which has a dad and a mom and the kids. The other families which even don't have no parents, not even a dad, and then the others who don't even have a mom or a dad. Maybe they even have just their grandmother and grandfather. So all these are types of families, and they're all beautiful in their beautiful way. So it should be a bother to her.
Well put, Maggie.
Yeah.
I want to take you to the day when, you then figure that you are going to be a single mom. What went through your mind?
Wow, it was really a tough moment for me, considering I wasn't living in the country and I had to come back. And I'm trying to think, how am I going to start with this little girl? And the question she's going to ask, why are we back? What are you doing over here? Should we go back to dad?
Yeah.
And all those stuff were running into my head. But then at the end of it all, if I wasn't happy personally deep within me, I knew I wouldn't be able to give a good environment for her to live in. So I just had to make a decision, and I didn't know how it's going to be, but it turned out very okay.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I made that decision because she's happy. And interestingly, we always think that kids don't see it and don't understand
Even
it.
at 6, can you imagine?
So imagine at that particular time when she was 3 and she told me, but Mommy, you're happy nowadays.
Wow.
That's what she told me. So you don't cry anymore. So I was like, wow. So she noticed it. So
even as young as 3, our kids can tell when we are sad.
We are sad. So she told me, you're happy. If you're happy with me, I'm happy. That's what she told me. And I looked at her because I asked her, are you happy? Then she said, Mommy, if you're happy, me, I'm happy.
Okay.
So it made me realize it's all about if I'm happy, it will make her happy. Right. So I have to be happy myself.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
So the journey so far as a single mom, how has it been?
I would say it's a bit tough, but at the same time enjoyable, I won't lie. Because you tend to experience some of the beautiful moments together with your child, which I think it's amazing. And you build memories together. That's
Right.
exactly what I do with my daughter. So every single thing that I do it for us. And she always has to understand it's our time. And I feel the most important thing as a single parent, you need to really do a lot of communication.
Right.
So for me, I always tell her it's our time. It's for us to be happy. It's for us to do this. It's for us to have fun. Because it will reach a point where we won't be able to do this. Because maybe in one way or another, I might get married.
Yeah.
And we won't have that so much time together like the time we have right now.
Do you think that changes, by the way, when we are married and we are in unions, that the attention we give to our, I don't know, maybe the attention we give within the family is divided between, of course, your partner, the kids. It's
I
different.
think so.
Maybe
I
it's
think
different,
so.
perhaps. So it's just you and your
Her.
children, or you and her.
It's very different because I would say, like for us, we can decide not to cook.
But previously,
we can decide not to cook, and then from nowhere we start watching movies together. Then from at 10 p.m. in the middle of the night, she's like, "Mommy, let's have some sausages."
Wow.
So you see, like if you're married, there's a particular way of how you're going to. Because now there's a family. There's not like a family, but there's a husband.
There's a different dynamic to it.
So there's a food which needs to be cooked at a particular time. Things needs to be done at a particular time. But now when it comes
And
to
in
me
a
and her,
particular
we
way.
have to break some of these rules for fun. So I enjoyed it. But at the same time, there are so many challenges which come with it, because we tend to make it feel like it's okay for us to be in single parents.
Like we've glamorized it.
Yes, and it's fun because people will come on social media and look at me and they're like, "Oh, it's like you've made it being
Now
a
you're
single
living
man.
it up.
You're living it up." But there's those challenges which you can't avoid them.
What are some of these challenges?
And some of them is like, example, you're called to school, you're a parent as well, and there's an event in school and you still also need to be at work.
Yeah.
And maybe your boss will tell you can't show up. And there's no other person who can go to school, because maybe you'd want to call, maybe the father is not able as well to be there.
Yeah.
But this child looks at you as the everything. You're like, you're everything to her. So if you miss that particular moment, like she can become sad. And I think this is something which, at least if you're two of you, you can try to figure it out. One can go to work and the other one can go. But then now in this particular some of these situations, it's a bit tricky. And at the same time, you'd want as well for her to experience what it feels like to have a father around.
Absolutely.
At the same time.
Absolutely.
So we shouldn't try avoid that part. Because there's some things you can't, as much as people want to view a woman as a superwoman or something of that sort, there's some things you won't be able to teach a child.
Yeah, that is true.
Alone.
That's true.
And there's some things which another person needs to come in and instill in that child. So, yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Maggie, how do you find balance for her to have, the presence of, say, a male figure? Have you been able to do that? Have people around her, even if the father is not around, like permanently, but people she can look up to as male figures?
So personally, I have my brother who is amazing. I don't even know how to describe him. Like, he's so attached to my daughter in a way which is so beyond, yeah? And he's also a father as well. And he takes the responsibility to bring these two girls, her daughter and my daughter, as one. So
That's
interestingly, my daughter, she's playing outside there, she will say, "I have a sister," and then the friends will tell her, "No, that's your cousin," and she will get so annoyed. She'll get so annoyed and come back to the house. She's like, "Mommy, they say Jen is not my sister, but that's my sister." So for her, we have. Okay, for us in a particular, in my scenario, we have tried to make them know that they're sisters.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
This is your sister. You have to be there for her. And same thing to my brother. And they meet weekly. He's always there, even though maybe there's nobody in the house and she'll even be dropped at his place. This is someone who is constant in his life.
In her life. So she
she
has a male figure that she's around. That's good.
Completely.
That's good. I'll ask you another question, because I know a lot of single moms who are watching, it's the one thing they are grappling with. How do you deal? They're now commonly called as baby daddies. How do you deal with a baby daddy who's not, say, cooperative, or just finding a way to, put your feelings aside and all the conflict you guys have had and raise a child together? How do you put your emotions aside, if at all?
From the beginning, it was a bit difficult. We couldn't make an agreement together. We are all, if he's high, on the higher side of the arguments
You go
into you
higher.
go higher. If you threaten me like this, I will threaten like this. I'm
Yeah.
going to take you to court. I'm going to do this and that and that. But as time goes by, the anger and the emotional damage which both of you have caused on each other,
Yeah.
it tones down.
Yeah.
And then it also calls for maturity, whereby you say, it's not about me and it's not about you anymore. So let's put ourselves out of this. So it's about now her.
How long did it take you to get there?
It took a while, though he was very cooperative because he supports the baby financially. That includes paying her school fees, her medical,
He offers the support.
He offers the support which comes that is financially, but he's not there presently.
Emotionally.
He's not there. The guy, he's not there in a physical way, which is also a challenge, because you'd want him, despite we have broken up and everything else, I would want to at least to exist.
For you to exist in my child's
life. Try to know her. Try to know what she's going through. Try to open up. Try to create a bond. Because at the end of it is that this child will grow up and say, I didn't have both my mom and my dad.
Right.
But you know what? I grew up in a very happy environment because these people are physically there, despite not them being not together. Which I feel it's something we should try nurture in our country, whereby it shouldn't be, we have broken up and
that means we've broken up. I can see you, that child, I don't want to see them.
Yeah, so it's not all about the money, but try exist. But right now, I feel like we're in a good place.
Okay.
There's communication, we're trying to improve and working on it. It's a journey. But when it comes to me and him, I don't think there's any argument. We can't argue. I look at him like a friend to me, to be very sincere. I look at him
that
as a friend.
That takes a while to get there.
Yeah.
That
so
takes a while.
I have no any hard feelings at all. Yeah.
If sometimes when you look at your daughter, and just from what you've explained, do you ever find that you try to speak to your ex and get him to try and see your point of view, that it's important for you to be in her life? Please call her. Please pick her over the weekends. Do you try to talk to him about it, or you just let it be?
So for me, I'm an extrovert, so I'm a very bold person. I tend to express how I feel. So this is something which I've already discussed with him.
Yeah.
So this is the things that you need to do. So let me know where I need to help you. Do I need to make the child available? What really do you need from me? Because I'm willing to help, not because of anything, but it's because of this child. So just let me know how you want us to help. But I have a plan. You can do this. There's something you can do. You need to understand her. She's like this and this. And then it has been a while. So a lot has changed into this girl's life, which he may not understand. For him, he may not be able to understand because it's been a duration of time.
Yeah.
And she has grown up to be an independent kind of a person. So she will say no to this and no to that. So
she has her own mind. She has her own mind.
So I try to encourage him as well to show up, try to figure her out and to know her. I don't want to tell you she's this and this and that, but know it for yourself. When you know it for yourself, it just gives you joy. Because for me, it's amazing. Like every single time when I know about her, it's beautiful.
I'm sure it must be. It must be. So Maggie, let's just take a short break and then we continue when we come back.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Today's Parent. If you're watching and you're a single parent, you want to share a few things here and there, send us an SMS on 22999 and let's have our conversation continue when we come back with Maggie. Let's take a short break. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to this episode of Today's Parent, where we are having a conversation with Maggie Hope, sharing her journey as a single mom. Maggie,
yes,
we are back from the break.
Yeah.
And as we come through, we have a question from Marianne. She's a mom of a 3-year-old, and her question is, how can she date as a single mom? Because she's finding it a challenge getting guys to accept her. What tips can you share with her?
I would say being a single mom is a bit a tricky position for you to be when it comes to dating. Because like for me personally, I have challenges whereby the father is involved financially. So someone assumes this person is also physically present in your life. So they tend to fear as well. And then they don't understand, okay, this person can be there physically or
Yes,
financially,
their
but
father,
it doesn't mean you're any emotionally attracted or
still together with
the person.
with your ex.
So it turns off, maybe gives, what is it called? Like a pushback. They're unable to move forward because they don't exactly know. And I would wish to encourage people, it's okay. If if the father is present, it's still okay, but it doesn't mean they're involved with them.
Yeah.
Another challenge is that because of our single mother, we try to work so hard to ensure we are financially stable because there's somebody depending on us. And then we don't know about this other person, how long will they keep up with being present when it comes to the finances. So you find men who know that this single mom is financially stable.
Wow.
And they would want to misuse that and try to get to you and understand that you're serious in exactly what you want in life. So in every approach, when they're coming to you as well, they know where to hit on. Whether it's something which is going to be a bit sensitive in regards to your child, I love children, I do this, I hear that a lot. And they're like,
I'll
okay.
be there for you.
I'll be there for you and the child and everything. And there are some of the situations, but then there's an agenda in behind. And at the same time, there's also sincere men out there, I believe. So
I'm sure
I've seen many single moms who have gotten married, not even with just one child, but even two. Yeah. And the amazing single men, not single men, but the amazing men out there who can marry a single mom.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would really advise, which I think it took me such a long time to open up.
What, to open up to love or the possibility
open up to love?
Okay.
Because like the stigma is still within you, and
the fear of rejection,
and you're so scared. And I'm having another child. If I mess up this, I'm not only messing up me, but this other baby is looking up to me. So there's also that stigma. So you end up pushing people away, whether with how you communicate, or you're just unable to trust them, because you feel like you have trust issues and you're unable just to trust anybody and to open up to them. And then another thing is there are people who are sincere and would want to know you and know your child, but you're just scared. What if they know this child and then they disappear? Because that is one thing which I don't want to introduce my daughter to, especially if she's a girl. I don't want to introduce her to a man and then this person just walks away again. You know? And then she's left there thinking, Daddy left as well. Then this other one came in, and you also like maybe they may start questioning themselves, or is it because of me?
There's something I'm doing,
or is it me, or is it because of me they are leaving, or and I wouldn't want to put my daughter in such a situation.
Yeah.
So I would always prefer to wait. You wait, and in case if you find yourself in that situation whereby this somebody who is very willing to love you, it's something also you need to communicate to your children, because most of the times we safeguard our kids so much we forget you're now in a relationship with somebody else, or you're getting to marriage. So you find the child is not even able to open up to the new dad because it's not because they don't want, but it's because of the barrier you as the mom you put in. And they can sense it that their mom is putting in a barrier. They don't want to open up. So if you try to open up and also try to communicate to them and understand it's okay, it's going to turn out okay. Give them that hope and positivity. This thing is going to work.
One of the most important things we need to do today is for you to share from your experience tips with single moms who are watching, or just how to thrive, on how to thrive as single moms, because it doesn't have to be gloom and death just because this is your current situation. So let's talk about self-care as a single mom. How do you do that for yourself?
So personally, I do my self-care together with her. So because we are both of us. So if I do it on my own, sometimes I also try to get time on my own, but I tend to create a time whereby we are still together and ask questions, because like every single day I go at home, she'll ask me. It's like a routine, a culture I'm trying to cultivate in her. Mommy, how was your day? Was your day good? Was your day bad? She'll ask me, or then we have a conversation. I tell her my day was bad. I try to involve her in my life.
Right.
So today my day was bad. My boss maybe did this and this. I wasn't happy. She was like, "But you're going to be okay. It's fine." You understand? So even at the same, and then she'll ask me. They're not asking me about me. So we'll ask her, "Okay, how was your day?" Then she tells me, "My day was fine. This is what I did." So you try. Our care is more of togetherness,
Okay.
and have our happy moments. What do you want to do for this
Very
weekend?
nice.
Can we do it together?
Very
So I
cool.
involve myself, because most parents is like, you'll take your child to the swimming or something, activity, and then you sit and start watching and then take pictures of it.
And
But
then,
despite
yeah.
I'll take the pictures of it, I will involve myself. I'll go in the pool
Get
together
into
with
the
her.
pool with
So
her.
for her, she knows if you are going for swim and mommy is not swimming, there's no need for us to go.
That's wonderful.
You see,
Involve her
involve
in
her
your self-care.
in your self-care. So if I'm going to swim, let's go together. If I'm going to the spa, let's go together. So she'll see, what are you doing? So I was like, can I get also me my nails so
That's a good
polished?
tip.
So it's something you have to cultivate on how to make it memorable. And at the same time, you also have, especially when you're bringing up girls as a single mom, it's an advantage for you to ensure you give her their all, so
Very
that they
well
don't look
well
it
put.
out there.
Well put.
Because they might grow up thinking, my mom wasn't able to do this and that.
So I need to get that
go and look
affirmation.
from somebody
Yes.
else. So try as much as possible to give so much love, even though it's not money-wise, presence, love, and so much care, that even though they get out there, they know, I still have my mom back at home who really cares. So she won't feel like she needs something more.
Very
in her
nice.
life, yeah.
Maggie, which brings me to the question of finances, because you have mentioned that you're getting a bit of help,
Yeah.
but I know there's some stuff you're doing by yourself.
Yes.
How do you deal with sometimes having limited resources? You know, when money is tight, moments like that, how do you deal with that as a single mom?
It's interesting because I think I'm still going back to the same topic, which is still the communication. If I'm not able to give it to you right now, it doesn't mean I won't be able to give it to you. You understand?
Yes.
And even though I'll still be not be able to give it to you tomorrow, it doesn't mean you still won't have it. So it's giving a child a mentality is still possible, despite it not being able right now.
Yeah.
Because it's something, even though she gets out there, there'll also still be no's, but she still understand I can still get it regardless. And then I need to work hard for it. I need to do this. Mommy needs to put more effort. And I remember the time for Christmas duration, I was at home and she asked me, Mommy, you need to be going to work.
We need money. We need money for Christmas.
Or you be sleeping over there. I'm going to be okay.
I hear you.
And then I was like, why? I told you we need to go see the snow. We need to go to see Santa in America.
You know? Oh, kids are so sweet.
So you don't
Kids
need
are
to
so
be here.
sweet.
So it's okay. I'm going to be okay if you go and work. I'm going to be okay. So when you look at her, you'll be like, oh, so you understand why I'm doing A, B, and C.
That's wonderful.
So, yeah, it's a good thing.
Okay. Maggie, let's go to the point of the importance of support. You've mentioned the support of having, is it your brother?
Yeah, my brother as well, and as well the father of my daughter in the finances.
There you go. How about, I don't know how you've done it, because you have moms who are single moms, but then they just hide away with no support. They don't want anybody to know, suffering in silence. What other support have you been able to, just bring out for yourself, or, surround yourself with? Do you have any online group? Do you have other single moms who are in your circle who you can relate with? And do you think that's important?
I feel the most important thing is that you be sincere with yourself, which most people don't want to be very sincere with themselves and their situation, or in case even though they're still also getting financial support from the father of their child, they want to look like superheroes. I do this all by my own.
I got this.
I got this. But at the end of it, backbone, there's somebody trying to help you out. Or even though there are those who don't experience any help at all. But I would really encourage single moms to expose themselves to people. It doesn't have to be finances, but to people who are going to be of help to her as well, to make things easy. For me, I involve my mom a lot.
Yeah.
I involve my friends. I tell my friends, this is me. I'm a single mom, I have a child. You don't have to be open. I've seen single moms who have hidden their kids with their moms back at home.
Yeah.
And they don't want to show them.
Even their current spouses or spouses don't know.
I've had even experience whereby somebody has been married for 7 years, and this man decides after 7 years, that's when they discover this woman had a child back at home. Wow. So I think we just need to embrace it and make it feel like it's okay for you to be a single mom, and it's okay, and you can have fun with it. Enjoy the moment, embrace it completely, which we don't tend to embrace it. And for me, it's an advantage that at least I'm getting financial support from him, because it makes things a bit little easier for me to focus with my career, myself, and the things I want to build in my life, and at the same time to the child's life. And my brother being there, it also makes me feel like, I got people who got me who got me at the end of it all, and I can rely on them.
That is good.
And at the same time, associate yourself with people who understand you. And at the same time, also, it doesn't have to be single moms, also married people, because also need to understand what they are doing may be different, because maybe there's something which also did different, which made my relationship to fail or something. So we don't have to enclose ourselves with only single moms.
Yeah.
So we have to be very broad and very open-minded to the society.
All right, Maggie. We have run out of time. Unfortunately, I was dying to ask you if you'll ever consider getting married again.
Definitely, yes.
I thought you were going to say pass.
No, definitely, yes.
All right, and as we wind up, your final parting shot to our single moms or single parents who are watching.
I would like to tell them this, that be encouraged, embrace the moment. Being a single mother doesn't make you disadvantaged in any particular way, and you shouldn't feel like you're a second, what is it called?
A second wheel or
you're disadvantaged or any way. So don't settle for anything less.
Or even a third wheel, like you don't matter.
You don't matter.
Yeah.
So don't settle for anything less. You're important, you're worthy, and you deserve it all.
I love
that. That's it.
You
deserve it all. Anything that you dream and think of or wish for, you deserve it. It is not just for a particular set of women, but for all women, regardless you're single, you're married. And we should all realize that before the mother came in, there was a woman in us who had dreams and goals and vision. So let us always not forget that. So let us work on our dreams, our careers, on what we want to achieve. So even before the wife comes in, there was still the woman. So let's always not forget that particular part.
Thank you, Maggie.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you as well.
And I wish you the best with your daughter.
Yes.
And the best in your future.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you for hosting me as well.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
On that note, we come to the end of this beautiful episode of Today's Parent. Maggie has said it, if you're a single mom, a single dad watching, you are worthy. Never forget that. I've been your host, Christine Casina. If there's any topic around single parenthood you want us to share, just send us an SMS on 22999 and we'll see how to cover it in another episode. And even if you're watching and you think you have an awesome story you want to share with other parents, just reach out and we'll see how we can get back to you. We've been here in studio at Little Cribs, the place you come to when you're looking for fun, durable, exciting kids furniture. For parenting resources, go to www.supermamas.co.ke. It's a good day to have a good day. Make a decision to have a good day. See you in the next episode.